Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, lessons learned, what the city is doing differently this time around to get ahead of the snowstorm. Motion defeated again. City Council rejects a proposal to make most eightplexes illegal. And traditional tourism, Indigenous entrepreneurs looking for new ways to share their stories with international visitors.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Winter weather is once again gripping our area. The City of Edmonton is wasting no time setting a Phase 1 parking ban. The city says, given the current snowfall situation, the first phase of a parking ban will go into effect tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. It applies to major roads across Edmonton. Road conditions are poor in our region at the moment. Mounties have issued a tow ban for parts of the QE2, saying it's just too dangerous for crews to be working there right now. Corey, lots of snowfall throughout the day, and it hasn't stopped yet.
No, and we still have more coming our way, Matt. We will finish with the heavier snow tonight, but it will continue to fall. As we look outside right now, the snowfall obscuring our view, the camera shaking around, so we have a bit of a wind giving us quite the bite, quite the wind chill. It's minus 21. Our temperature continued to drop throughout the day. Today, we saw a reverse temperature trend. With the wind coming in from the north, it's feeling like minus 32. So feeling even colder, and that wind chill is going to stick around as we go throughout the rest of the evening. Stony Plain, the airport, minus 22. Elk Island also minus 22. Wind chills as cold as minus 36 at the airport, where the wind is a little bit stronger. So the cold, we'll be dealing with that throughout the rest of today and tomorrow, and still dealing with the snow. Right now, it's the southwest corner getting some heavier amounts of snow. This is pulling to the north, so it's going to pass through the entire city, some heavier snow once again. So we'll see visibility reduced. It's going to become a little bit more dangerous on the roads, probably as we go throughout the next half hour. This is all coming up from the south. The good thing is we do see some breaks in behind there. This is falling as far north as Fort McMurray. Fort McMurray on the lighter side now, but it will intensify, and this is affecting much of the prairies, even heavier towards Saskatoon and Regina. So very heavy snowfall. We're dealing with at least the end of this. It will continue to pull to the north, and we will see things ease up as we go throughout the later part of the evening and the overnight period. Tomorrow morning, a slight chance of flurries. As we go throughout tomorrow, not a big warm-up, minus 22 for a high. The good thing is the wind will ease, and we'll see that wind chill ease up as well. And I'll take a look at your 3 and 5 day forecast coming up a little bit later on, Matt.
All right, Corey, thanks very much. With the worst of the storm arriving today, city crews have been out clearing major roads to try and get ahead of it. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, the city says it's learning to keep up from the last time it tackled snowy road conditions.
Jonathan Easingwood almost went back to bed when he saw the snow outside his window, but clearing the snow is part of his job.
I didn't even want to go anywhere today, so roads are terrible, sidewalks are even worse, but we're definitely doing our part to make it happen.
Easingwood isn't alone. The city started its snow clearing early, bringing in extra contractors to clear major roads.
Typically they wait until when the snowfall ends, so now they've actually brought them in the beginning to make sure that the contractors are out there supplementing the work of the city crews.
A better way to tackle the new snow blanketing the city. Those contractors are in addition to the city's 120 truck plows already at work.
We do feel quite confident that we'll be able to get the roadways cleared and ready to go in a very short period of time.
The major snow dump in December saw many Edmontonians frustrated with the city's slow pace of snow clearing.
The city's been terrible this year. My vehicle, I've been in the shop multiple times because of the roads.
A citywide parking ban for major roadways takes effect Wednesday morning and will last 3 to 5 days.
Crews will be working in priority order 24/7 to get main roads clear for use for residents during this time.
Mayor Knack says enforcement for the parking ban won't increase as funding is at a standstill. At the start of the new fiscal year, the city is in good shape for its budget and wants to do better in 2027.
Because I don't want to just meet the current service standard anymore. I want us to be better than what we currently say we're going to do.
On Friday, the city will then evaluate if residential snow clearing is needed. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
People living in a North Edmonton neighborhood say they want more information from police about yesterday's deadly shooting. It happened near Castle Downs Road and 109th Street in the middle of the day. The passenger side window of this SUV was smashed and bullet holes can be seen in the driver's side door. Police say an injured man was found there. He later died in hospital. Today, the only new information police would confirm is next of kin have been notified. People who live in the area say the lack of information doesn't help alleviate their safety concerns.
A bystander can die, it's happened. So that's we need to be fixed this issue. So I have to watch my kids and I be more careful.
It's scary, honestly. It's like you don't know what's going on. It's like you don't know what's going to happen next.
Police are asking anyone with dash cam or surveillance video from that area between noon and 12:30 Monday to contact them. The family of a girl who survived a recent crash on the Henday says she faces a long recovery. Victoria Fortuna and her father Paul were changing a tire on the east side of the Henday last week. An SUV slammed into their vehicle, killing Paul instantly. Victoria was taken to hospital and placed in an induced coma. Her family says her legs had to be amputated.
You know, she's coming to grips with so much in such a short amount of time. And, you know, she's dealing with such horrendous injuries. And she just wants a hug from her dad. And she can't have that. And it's heartbreaking to watch.
RCMP say charges have not been laid. The City of Edmonton says while it's investigating a series of dog attacks, the current rules prevent it from doing more than issuing tickets. The city says it's received 10 recent complaints, all involving 2 large loose dogs in the Inglewood and Prince Charles areas. Officers have issued 6 tickets totaling $1,400. 8 special patrols were conducted in the area last week. Edmonton's Deputy Chief of Animal Care says they plan to do more. He says the city's authority is currently limited by the animal control bylaw. Officers can only seize a dog that has killed or seriously injured someone unless they have a court order. Once the new bylaw takes effect in May, fines will increase and stronger enforcement will be allowed. City Council is holding the line on infill density. A motion to make 8plexes illegal unless they're on a corner lot was defeated today. Instead, Council is considering more changes to address the overall building size. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
City Council is still trying to find the zoning sweet spot, a bylaw that allows density through different housing types while minimizing the impact to neighbors. Councillor Karen Principe proposes limiting infill projects to 6 units unless they're on a corner.
I think this is a reasonable compromise as opposed to going to 4 units.
The maximum unit reduction from 8 to 6 almost happened last summer. But 2 councillors who could have tipped the scales missed that vote. Instead, council shrunk the building length and tweaked design standards, among other changes.
We have made changes. They're actually quite significant. We haven't given the time to be implemented. We haven't given the market time to respond to it.
Some councillors say unit count isn't the biggest issue with infill anymore, referencing comments like this from a public meeting last week.
The main problem is not height and it's not dwellings, it is massing and building volumes.
Unit count reductions that don't materially make the building smaller but simply reduce the amount of homes that are available in our communities is not what we're trying to achieve.
Council voted down the unit reduction, instead focusing on a proposal by the mayor to cut the height of exterior walls by 1 meter, encouraging peaked roofs over flat ones.
I have seen a 10.5 meter high rectangular box getting built, and I don't think that people like how tall that has gone and the massing that impacts when you're beside a bungalow.
In the end, council voted to shrink the overall building height, not just the edges. The change won't be final until a public hearing in the spring. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Premier Danielle Smith says Albertans should prepare for a deficit in next week's budget.
We're just wanting people to brace themselves that just like every other province and the federal government and virtually every jurisdiction around the world, there's unfortunately going to be deficits until we start seeing some oil prices turn around and getting new production online.
Smith says the provincial budget needed $74 a barrel WTI in order to balance. Prices below $60 a barrel for most of the last year will mean deficits. The Premier says while the province has been working to diversify its economy, Alberta's budget is still over-reliant on resource revenue. Smith will speak to Albertans during a televised address later this week. She refused to provide any details about what she'll say. You can watch her address on CTV News at 6, Thursday at 6:45. Alberta is buying 5 new water bombers in an effort to strengthen its wildfire fighting abilities. The de Havilland aircraft will be built in Calgary. They're expected to create and sustain about 1,000 jobs. The first water bomber is scheduled to be complete by the spring of 2031, with the rest delivered over the following 2 years. The province says the new models will complement Alberta's existing fleet and increase aerial drop capacity. The purchase comes amidst longer and more destructive wildfire seasons.
These new aircraft are a game changer. They're built for Alberta. They fly faster, carry more water, and reload in seconds, giving our wildland firefighters the power to hit wildfires hard and early, battling fires while they're small and keeping communities safe.
The new aircraft will cost $400 million. Coming up next on CTV News, a gold medal winning curler wonders if there will be rule changes following the Olympic rink drama.
It's something that they've never had to monitor ever. It's never been requested.
Wednesday on Your Morning, we talked to Mayor Andrew Knack about snow and whether or not clearing will be different. Plus, we climb up high for a firefighter's rooftop campout for muscular dystrophy.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
Indigenous tourism is growing and people in the industry hope it becomes an even larger economic driver. As CTV's Gates Warren reports, entrepreneurs and industry executives are in Edmonton sharing ideas about how to bring in more international visitors.
Visitors from around the world are learning about Indigenous people through art, wellness, and traditional skills.
It's new faces, new cultures.
It's a part of the largest gathering of Indigenous professionals in the world, looking to showcase and promote tourism of Indigenous lands and people.
It's telling stories of this land and telling stories that are only true here in this place, and we get to share that with everyone.
14 countries are represented at the conference. They're exchanging ideas and knowledge to grow the industry after the pandemic.
It's going to bring more economic potential. It'll bring more cultural revitalization. It supports reconciliation. It's big business.
Indigenous tourism contributes around $1.7 billion to the Canadian economy, with Alberta and Ontario leading the way. The Canadian Association says there's still more untapped potential.
The domestic and international demand is there. The challenge is, can we link with the sales channels more effectively? Can we develop more market and export ready businesses?
Some of those businesses hoping to benefit are here. Moonstone Creation showcases how art brings people back to their roots.
I have people who look at my beadwork and it reminds them of back home.
Loretta Tutok sells wellness products using traditional medicines. She says she is honoring her cookum by taking care of others as a way of building community.
And we do so by honoring our stories, our traditions, our practices.
Painted Warriors sees Indigenous tourism as a way for people to feel proud of where they come from by teaching tourists original skills used to live off the land.
We get to have these conversations with visitors who are international or across Canada. And when you have these conversations, that's kind of what breaks down barriers.
With 1 in 3 people who come to visit Canada wanting an Indigenous tourism experience, those in Alberta say they can be a leader in this space.
Non-Indigenous Canada can come to the table and support Indigenous tourism. And while they're doing that, they're supporting the longevity of language and culture and pride.
Gates Gorin, CTV News, Edmonton.
Canada's inflation rate slowed slightly this month. It now stands at 2.3%. The drop in annual price growth between December and January is mainly because of gas prices. Food prices have climbed 4.8% from last year. The inflation rate was also affected by last year's temporary sales tax holiday. A former Olympic curler says he wouldn't be surprised if World Curling looks at changing its rule book after the Games. Alberta's John Morris has 2 Olympic gold medals in curling. He's also a former teammate of Mark Kennedy's. Kennedy got into a spat with Sweden's Oscar Eriksson after Eriksson accused Kennedy of touching the rock after release. Morris says, well, double touching isn't allowed. In his experience, it doesn't give anyone any advantage. It's not something that officials usually watch for.
Because a player brought 1 or 2 players brought this up, they're now forced to monitor it because that's in their job duty. However, it's something that they've never had to monitor ever. It's never been requested. Again, it doesn't have really any impact at all on the result of the stone. And now at the world's biggest stage, it's kind of created a bit of a fiasco, which I think has been not an awesome distraction for a lot of the curlers. I think a lot of people that are making judgments about this are people that don't know curling, and all they're seeing on their BuzzFeed is cheating allegation. They're not looking into it. They're not being curious. And if you actually ask people in the curling world, I think they understand the situation a lot more, and they know that Mark is not really doing anything wrong, especially that he knows about, and especially that is really having any impact or giving Canada an advantage.
Canada's men's team won its round-robin game today against Great Britain. They play Italy tomorrow. When we return, the popular Canadian rock band playing 3 shows at smaller venues around Edmonton.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Corey, I hate to say it, but I definitely fell for it again. False spring, all those daytime highs around 7 degrees over the first few weeks of February really got me. But here we are again.
Yeah.
Nothing but winter out there.
Yeah. Mid-February, Mother Nature's letting us know we are not done with winter. If you thought about it, you knew we weren't done, but it did feel quite nice. And like you said, maybe a bit of a false spring for sure. Right now, you're taking a live look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free. Our temperature, minus 22. Now take a look at our high for today. Minus 14. That was at midnight. Most of the province saw our highs early on into the morning hours, and then our temperature just dropped off. Red Deer minus 9, Calgary minus 6, Lethbridge minus 2. Let's take a look at our current temperatures right now. Everyone has seen their temperature drop off. Lethbridge now minus 17, Calgary minus 19, Red Deer minus 21, and again, we are minus 22. We'll continue to see our temperature drop a little bit more as we head towards the late evening. We'll lose a few more degrees. Now, February snowfall, the heaviest one-day February snowfall over the past 50 years was in 1992 on February 19th. We received 19 centimeters. We have to wait until midnight to get our official amounts, but the range that we were looking for was 15 to 34 today. And I'm guessing that we probably surpassed that. So we'll get an idea. We'll have an update on that for you tomorrow after we get the official numbers. As far as warnings, cold warning in the North Fort McMurray Peace River, high level, wind chill values close to minus 40 or below. And then the snowfall warning, Slave Lake, Athabasca, we are included in this. Some areas upwards of 40 centimeters. But then as you move further east, the snow, still some of the same amounts, but stronger winds, blowing snow, reduced visibility. Very poor driving conditions on highways east and west, north and south. And that is going to be the case as we go throughout the rest of the day today until things settle down later tonight. So we are still under a snowfall warning. That'll probably be dropped later tonight. We've got some heavier snow coming through right now that's pulling up from the south. As we take a look, it's pulling to the north. The brighter whites, those are heavier amounts. So once that passes through, things will ease up, which is nice. Fort McMurray, seeing things intensify as we go throughout the evening. As we take a look at the future cast, slight chance of flurries as we go throughout the late evening and overnight period. Could see a few more flurries tomorrow morning, but it breaks up quite a bit, so they'll be scattered in the region. And then we might even see some sun break through late tomorrow afternoon as the system continues to push off. So the sky conditions will be very different for tomorrow. Minus 23 tonight, minus 25 to start tomorrow morning with a slight chance of flurries. Again, if we do see them, they'll be very scattered in the region. Minus 22 for a high for tomorrow. Wind will ease as we get into the later parts of tomorrow. So the wind chill, it will reduce as we go throughout the day. Minus 18 Thursday, minus 15 Friday, and there is your weekend, a pair of minus to 17s. Once we get into the later parts of the 10-day, we do warm up. I'll have more details on that in the 6 o'clock newscast. Matt.
All right, Corey, thank you. Edmontonians will have a chance this weekend to sign a petition against coal mining on the eastern slopes of the Rockies. Alberta musician Corb Lund is spearheading the petition. It calls for the province to introduce legislation prohibiting any new mining activity for coal in the region. If successful, the government would then pass a coal mining ban or send the issue to a province-wide vote.
The whole 6 years, what the government's tack on this has been to say, oh, okay, Alberta, we've heard you. We understand your concerns. We'll fix it. And then they don't fix it. They leave big loopholes in it. So we've worded our question extremely specifically to make sure that we include Grassy Mountain and any coal projects on the slopes of the Rockies, because it's a terrible idea economically and ecologically.
The petition can be signed at the Orange Hall in Old Strathcona this Sunday from noon to 4. The organizers must collect just shy of 178,000 signatures for the petition to move forward. There's a new album and a new unique tour for Arkells. The Canadian band is doing 3-night, 3-club takeovers. Here in Edmonton, they will play Buckingham on White Avenue May 14th, the Starlight Room May 17th, and Midway Music Hall May 16th. The band says they want to create intimate experiences for their audiences. Tickets go on sale Friday. Arkells' new album, Between Us, comes out April 17th. Still to come tonight on CTV News, tallying up the titles, the most popular baby names in Alberta last year.
CTV News at 5 continues.
The top baby names of 2025 in Alberta shouldn't come as any surprise. For the 13th straight year, Olivia is the #1 girl name, while Noah was the top boy name for a 7th year in a row. Rounding out the top girl names, Amelia came in 2nd place, Emma and Sophia tied for 3rd, Charlotte in 4th place, and Violet rounded out the top 5. For boy names, Theodore surged from 4th place to 2nd place, its highest ranking ever. Oliver and Henry followed, while Jack and Lucas tied for 5th place. Service Alberta Minister Dale Nally says he's surprised Connor hasn't made the top names list yet, given the Oilers captain led the team to 2 Stanley Cup final runs. Nally is celebrating one small win, though.
There were 2 Dales in Alberta last year, which is twice as many as the year before, so we're really getting some momentum.
Albertans welcomed more than 52,000 babies last year, choosing more than 14,000 names. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.